Welcome and good morning, dear student. In my channel, we are dealing with the animal diversity paper first for first year zoology. Now, in this lecture, we are going to deal the systematics and linear hierarchy. As we have already discussed the taxonomy, hope you have understand it very well. You are requested to please do subscribe my channel for latest videos and press the bell icon. Now, in this paper, animal diversity first, as you know, in topic first, there is taxonomy and systematics, that is principles of classification, in which we have already studied the taxonomy. The second one is systematics, and third subbit is linear system of classification, which include the six level of classification, which are phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Then next subbit is concept of species, that is biological and evolutionary. And the last subbit is introduction to binomial nomenclature. So in taxonomy, we have discussed the basic terminology and introduction. Now in systematics, we are going to discuss the definition and introduction and all these kinds of the categories, phylum to species. The term systematics is derived from Latinized Greek word systema. It is developed by early naturalist Carolus Linnaeus from 1704 to 1778. Systematics may be defined as the science of diversity of organism. As you know very well, the taxonomy, the systematic arrangements of living organisms according to their characters. Here, systematics is again defined as the diversity of organisms. The scientist Simpson, who defined systematics as the scientific study of kinds and diversity of organisms and of any and all relationships among them. So that is the definition given by the Simpson. Systematic includes taxonomy, identification, classification, and nomenclature, and all other aspects of dealing with the different kinds of organisms and data about them. So this is all about the systematics. This is the history about the systematics, how the systematic arrangements of the organisms has been carried out from past history. In our country, in Vedas and Upanishads, from 1500 BC to 600 BC, we get clues for earlier classification in which several technical terms are used for description of plants. The ancient Indian scholar and Ayurvedic physician Charak and Sushruta contributed a lot to our knowledge of diversity and utility of organisms. This is the Indian background of systematics. Then in the Greek, scientist Aristotle prepared a plan of classifying 500 different kinds of plants and animals that were known to him. In this Historia Plantarum, he classified and described animals and plants, but this classification was strictly artificial. Later on, Otto Bernfels, Joram Bock, and Andrea Casalpino classified the plants. Gaspard Bauhin, who classified the plants on the basis of textures and forms. Later on, Carolus Linnaeus (1707 to 1778) did the remarkable work in the field of taxonomy, and therefore he is often referred as the father of taxonomy. He gave the scheme of classification in his famous book Systema Naturae in 1753. He included the binomial system of nomenclature, that is, two naming system, genus and species. So, Carolus Linnaeus was the first who laid the foundation of systematic arrangements of these living organisms, and that's why he referred as the father of taxonomy. The work of Linnaeus became the foundation of systematics. Then there are another different scientists who made their contribution in classification of living organism, which include Lamarck, described the concept of natural classification in his book. Then Charles Darwin explained the origin of species through natural selection. Again, Huxley introduced the new term new systematics, in which he modified the elder ideas of classifying these classical systematics. Taxonomists have proposed three different systems of classification, which are artificial system, natural system, and phylogenetic system. So these are the three different systems of classification. Number first one is artificial system of classification. So this artificial system was first adopted by Pliny. The first century AD, AD is Anno Domini, that is in the birth of Lord Jesus. So this is about the Christian. In the first century AD, for animals, he classified the animals on the basis of their flying ability or presence or absence of wings. The flying animals like butterflies, birds, bats were placed together. So he only considered this character, that is ability to fly in air. On the basis of this, he grouped those individuals which can fly in air in single group. This classification is based on comparison of one or few characteristics or characters of convenience without relation phylogenetic significance. The characters erroneously presented to indicate phylogenetic relationship. Artificial classification is based on single arbitrary chosen on instead of an evolution of the totality of characters. Plants were also classified on the basis of habitat into herbs, shrubs, and trees. So that is about the artificial system, that only the single arbitrarily chosen characters instead of evolutionary background. Means the evolutionary backgrounds phylogenetic is not to be considered, only the morphological characters are to be considered. The basis of classification adopted, although very simple and easy to follow, are arbitrary and do not reflect any natural relationship among the organisms. This artificial classification leads to heterogeneous assemblage of unrelated organisms under a common character, which does not justice to the totality of characters of an organisms. Carlos Linnaeus also adopted artificial system of classification for plants, in which he considered number and arrangements of stamens and carpels. Thus, this system conveys the little information and cannot differentiate closely related species of organisms, but they are kept apart in the system. So, this is about the artificial system of classification. Only the visible morphological characters has to be considered for classifying the organism. Then the second system of classification is natural system. This system compares many characteristics which increases the amount of information available from grouping. This classification is based on the characters which indicate natural relationship and similarities. The organisms show close resemblance or similarities because they are descendant of one common ancestor. Zoologists and botanists have different opinion regarding the natural system of classification. According to zoology, the system includes the phylogenetic and evolutionary trends, but botanists separate phylogenetic system to include the evolutionary trends in plants. Bentham and Hooker proposed the natural system of classification for plants. So this is natural system of classification. Third system of classification is phylogenetic. This system is based on evolutionary and genetic relationship of the organism. It gives clues to trace out the ancestors. However, our knowledge of phylogenetic classification is inadequate. The present phylogenetic systems are formed by the combination of natural and phylogenetic evidences. Engler, Prandtl, and Hutchinson first adopted this system for the classification of plants. Carlos Linnaeus proposed the Linnean system of classification, in which he proposed taxon and category. The term taxon, which is plurally called as a taxa, is used to refer to the concrete biological object. The taxa are the group of animals, generally groups of species. For example, fishes, birds, reptiles, and mammals are the groups of organisms in animals. Algae, fungi, ferns, mosses, etc. are the groups of plant organisms. Thus, these are the concrete object of classification. Any such group of such population is called taxon. According to Simpson, taxon is a group of real organisms recognized as a formal unit at any level of hierarchic classification. Like tigers are real animals belonging to the species category Panthera tigris. In this example, all tigers from the species taxon Panthera tigris. All cats, like species of animals, constitute the family taxon Felidae. All mammals constitute the class taxon Mammalia. All vertebrate animals constitute the subphylum taxon Vertebrata. So this is taxon. It is the broad group of organisms. Category designate a level or a rank in a hierarchic classification. The categories are species, family, order, or class in an abstract term representing a rank of a level. But what is place in a category are real or concrete biological object. A category may be higher or lower. They have the names like kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, like this. We'll see the taxonomic hierarchy. This taxonomic hierarchy, which include this phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. There are large number of plants and animal species in the living world. It is impossible to know them individually by their names or to refer them in the literature. Therefore, it is necessary to arrange them into categories and taxa of different grade. The categories and taxa are arranged in an ascending order to the higher category include one or more lower categories, and higher taxa include one or more lower taxa. Carolus Linnaeus was the first taxonomist who established a definite hierarchy of taxonomic category in animal kingdom. There are species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, and kingdom designate seven obligate categories or rank in the hierarchy. Similar species are grouped into genus based on a common characteristic. Similar genera are grouped into phylum. Botanists use the term division instead of phylum. Finally, similar phyla are placed in a kingdom, the highest grouping. Such a classification is called hierarchy classification. Hierarchy means a group of things ranked one above another. Linnaeus also used varieties as an optional category of various types of intraspecific variants, which was replaced by the species. As the number of known species increased, the original category names were used with prefix super or sub. Thus, now in hierarchy there are superorder, superfamily, suborder, subfamily, etc. The most frequently used additional new category called tribe, used in between genus and family. There is another category called cohort, used in between order and class, and it was included by vertebrate paleontologists. Paleontologists are the individuals who study the paleontology, and paleontology means the study of fossil. Some taxonomists also use some additional terms or clades, legio and sectio. Some use infraclass below subclass and infraorder below suborder. So this is taxonomic hierarchy. This is universally accepted categories arranged in hierarchy. So like up to the top there is a on the top there is a kingdom, then next to kingdom there is a phylum, next to phylum there is a subphylum, next to subphylum there is superclass, next to superclass is class, next to class is subclass, next to subclass is infraclass, next to infraclass is cohort, next to cohort is suborder, next to suborder next to cohort is superorder, next to superorder is order, and just below to the order is suborder, then infraorder. After infraorder is a superfamily which has the suffix OIDEA, and then next is a family which is also having the suffix IDEA, then subfamily which has the suffix INAE, then tribe it has the suffix INI, then subtribe, then genus, then subgenus, then species, then subspecies. So this is hierarchy of classifying the living organism, and which generally used in animal kingdom. So we will see all these 6 level of classification categories. And number first is species, which is the most important category in taxonomic hierarchy and is considered as a basic unit in classification and in the process of evolution. Several taxonomists have defined the term species, which refer to group of organisms that closely resemble each other either because they freely interbreed in nature or because they have descended from common ancestors from not too distant. They are called biological species. They are genetically special, which are a group of interbreeding populations and are reproductively isolated from each other. For example, in Homo sapiens, the sapiens is the species of Homo. The species inhabiting different geographical areas are called allopatric species, whereas those species which occupy the same geographical area are called sympatric species. Some species only show morphological similarities, known morphospecies. Sibling species include group of very and closely related species. When there are two or more subspecies, they are called polytypic species. Monotypic species consist of a single subspecies. Taxonomic species are given specific name under the international rule of nomenclature. So this is about the species. Next to species is genus. First higher category above the species level. Plurally it is called genera, which is the group of related species. The genus has position of spatial importance in the classification. By the rules of binomial nomenclature, a species cannot be named unless it is assigned to a genus. Which species are then to be grouped together to form the various genera. In general, species in a genus usually have many features in common. Such groups of common features are called correlated characters. Some of the correlated characters may appear small, inconspicuous, like the number or position of bristles on the wings of an insect. The significant point in species in which such characters occur together are more closely related. Such species are taken to belong the same genus. Sometimes a genus may consist of only one existing species. For example, modern man in the genus Homo. So this is genus. Next to genus is family. This is taxonomic category containing one or more related genera and which is separated from other related families by important and characteristic differences. The family Felidae includes the tiger, the lion, and all types of cats belonging to different genera. Felidae family is distinctly different from Canidae, which include dogs and foxes. So these are the two different families, Felidae and Canidae. Next to family is order. It is the basic taxonomic category which includes similar families, suborders, infraorders, superfamilies and infraclasses. In some phyla, orders are well-known groups, but in some they are less well-known than classes. For example, the order Carnivora include families Felidae and Canidae. Though they comes under the same order, but they are somewhat different. Then class, which is the basic category group in which superclasses, infraclasses included. The classes are the best known taxa in animal kingdom. The class is the subdivision of a phylum. For example, the order Carnivora includes the lion, the cat are included in the class Mammalia. So this is class Mammalia, which include the order Carnivora. There are again different orders in class Mammalia. Then phylum. The taxa included in the phylum category are the phyla, which are nothing but the subdivision of the kingdom. The superphyla or subphyla are also included into phyla. The phylum Porifera includes three classes such as Calcarea, Hexactinida, and Demospongia. Then kingdom, which is the highest taxonomic category. All types of animals are included in the animal kingdom and all types of plants are included in the plant kingdom. So this is the level of classification from species to kingdom. So how the categories are to be done with the different kinds of the characters. If they are having the similar characters, they are placed in same group. If they are having the different characters, they are placed in different groups. But if you see the phylum, which has the organisms which are having somewhat similarities, and again, if they are having certain dissimilarities, they are placed in different classes. So like this, the phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. So these are the hierarchy in classifying the living organism. Basically, this classification is to be done in kingdom Animalia or for the kingdom Animalia. So This is all about the hierarchic classification. Hope you understand all this about the hierarchic classification. And still, if you have any doubt or the query, please feel free to write into the comment box. Thank you very much.